Ah, here we are. Yay! Testimonial Tuesday. I'm super excited, Alan, for us to be here together and talk a little bit about your experience with the Bruins Realty Group and what you guys did with, selling, buying houses, all that fun stuff.
Well, obviously, our experience was terrible because we've used you 3 times.
Right, right.
So,
Totally awful, right?
yeah, good. I'm glad to do it. It's when something goes good, you don't mind giving testimonials about it.
Right, and sharing and telling everybody about it, right?
Well, considering there's now a realtor on every block, knowing which one to choose can make a huge difference.
Yes, yes. Well, tell me a little bit about kind of the experience itself as you went through the process from, I know, we did a sale. We did a great sale of your place. And we first, in your situation, we did a buy and then the sell. So how was the process for you?
Well, remember there was also another one. My mother-in-law
Yes.
sold her house, so we brought you in for that, and I wasn't making the decisions for her, and she's a little bit older and didn't really want to deal with a whole lot of anything. So what I liked is in that situation, you kind of like just came in and just handled it, and I think I told you she's got to get X amount of money. This is what we got to have. So you made it work, and that was great for her. But for me, it was we wanted to downsize a little bit so we could go spend more time with my new grandson. So
Yes.
I wanted to get that done pretty quick because, like, at this particular time, it's a great time to be in the market to sell. So
Yes.
it happened kind of quick. I was like, Shannon, sell it. So it was very fast. It probably took, I mean, within a matter of 48 hours, we did a couple little things to get the house ready and
Mm-hmm.
came over and walked us through and said, kind of do this, do that, do this, do that. And we were fortunate because we were able to move out prior, but then you brought in somebody
Yes.
to set up part of the house, which I think made a huge difference because people didn't have to walk into it completely empty. So, but it's kind of neat
Right.
that the way you guys did that, it was strategically set. So certain rooms were set and then other rooms left alone, which I thought was pretty cool. And so that was fast. And I think ours was sold in 2 days.
Yeah, I think so. Like 48 hours. Super fast. And in this market, it's funny because people think, okay, I can I can maybe I can do it myself. Maybe I can have anybody, it doesn't matter who, um, help me sell my house. But I think it still makes a very big difference who the realtor is and their team and what they're doing to help you get that done. Because there's a lot of pieces to it.
Well, I thought about doing that because I had done it in the past.
Mhm.
And things change. And you don't want to make some, like, I would literally make a dumb mistake because I don't know what I'm doing. I would be worried that somebody new would make a rookie mistake because they
Yes.
don't have the experience. So what I liked is the fact that I had somebody to call if I needed something, somebody explaining everything. I got notifications. This is going to happen. This is what's next. Here's what's coming. Here's what you can expect. All that came. So, I didn't want to worry about it. So instead of calling to bug somebody, I was getting updates on everything that happened in real time. And then all of a sudden it's sold. And the next call I get is, can you close on next day?
And hey, where are we gonna bring your money, right?
And that was important because that's what I
Yeah.
was at. And then we were out, and that was it. And it was so simple that it was like, it was just simple. I mean, why go through the stress of worrying about doing something you don't know how to do? I mean, why would I do
Right.
that?
Right. No, I completely agree. And yeah, we want to make it easier and just a no-brainer for people to be like, "Hey, we trust you. You've got this." And here we go. Now, one comment you made to me while we were doing the transaction is that you really liked our office staff a lot. So I don't know how that compares to your other experiences. Tell me
Well,
some thoughts on that.
Well, it's kind of like if you look at when I went and looked at the picture on your Facebook page, it looks like, oh, look at all these people. This was so well posed, and look at all these smiles. And you're thinking, okay, it's just a professional shot. And then you talk to them and then hang around because we came to a VIP event later after we had become a customer, and it's like, oh my gosh, all these people actually do get along this good. They're like a tight knit, organized little group.
Mhm.
Everybody's good. Well, if you're in a busy market, you know, what was cool is I got access to you pretty much every time I called. But if you were ever busy, somebody else responded instantly. In other
Mhm.
words, you did your part, and then you had somebody else who did their part, and it always felt seamless from one person to the next to the next to the next. It never looked like even you, because you have a team of how many now?
We're 6, a team
Okay,
of
a
6.
team of
Mhm.
6, but it didn't seem like anybody was stepping on anybody. Here's my job, here's their job, here's their job, boom, it's done. So it was very, very seamless and very tight knit. That was kind of cool.
Which is great. No, and that's exactly what we want it to feel like, right? We want it to feel like the process goes smoothly and rolls right through. Excuse me. Um, so if someone were to come up to you and say, "Hey, Alan, like, why would you recommend Bruins Realty Group?" or "What realtor would you recommend?" What would your thoughts be?
Well, it's kind of like this. If I've got a guy that I know who's a car mechanic, and he is exceptionally good, and he's always taking care of me, and he has a great reputation. He's dealt with tons of clients. He's a total expert at what he does. Okay. Well, let's say that 2 doors down, so and so's garage pops up. They're brand new. They're not trusted. They may know how to work on a car, but they don't have the experience that my guy has. So
Right.
why would I choose the inexperienced person over the trusted source? That would be a mistake. So
Right.
I'm going to trust somebody to fix the car that has a proven background and the experience to handle all problems. I'm
Mhm.
not going to risk it. So that is what you go with experience. I mean, 100 out of
Right.
100 times you go with experience, because what if something doesn't go right? Well, so somebody that has experience can go, oh, hey, no problem, been there. The other person's like, oh my gosh, we don't know what to do. They may not say that to you, but that's what they're thinking.
Yeah.
And I don't
And you
want
can feel it.
yeah, and I don't want that person in charge of a, 100, 200, $300,000 decision for me.
Right, because a lot of times this is the biggest investment decisions that people make throughout their whole life is in real estate. Either that or with your stockbroker, right? So I think you want to have that person that you really feel like you can trust that you're with at that time. Um, I'm trying to think of what else that you might have mentioned to me during the process because we want to give people, the real, the raw, what it is so that they understand what we do as a team.
Well, one thing for my case,
Hmm.
I'm very hands on. And I feel like I want a little bit of control of what's going on, even though I probably don't need it. So one thing that was kind of cool is you gave me enough leadway to feel like I was doing something while you took care of it in the background. And then if I said, well, what about
That's
this, this,
true.
and this? And you're like, don't worry about that right now. That's not what's important. You don't have to worry about that. You can do this. Oh, okay. You do this. So it kind of let me feel like I felt like I could have either been totally off and just kind of like let it go when it's done, or I could say, Shannon, what about this and this and this? And you're like, okay, well, da 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 da. And because I knew my house, so I
Right.
knew my house and I knew things about it, and I wanted to give feedback on that. Well, I felt like I was able to do that without. I felt like my input was accepted, even though it may not have been needed. So it kind of made it seem a little smoother, friendlier of a transaction, because I do kind of miss my other house because I
Yeah,
wanted to house. So that was a little emotional attachment leaving that place.
definitely.
You had to gently tear me away from it and say, well, remember, here's why you did it, and here's why I didn't. So kind of nice to be able to have a little feedback if as needed, but not feel like I had to.
No, I like that a lot because that I think comes with our team in general reading people and understanding what they need, right? If they need to feel like they have control, or if they need to feel like, hey, I can't deal with this. Can you just handle it all? Which we've done that before too. I mean, we we do them where we completely have redone the houses. We've like done a full makeover before we sold it, and the owner had like little bit of input that they wanted, and that was it. So I think that that is definitely a strength of the team, is just knowing what the client, like, okay, I can tell what this client needs. They've told me this and this, so let's do this so that we can read it.
And
I
you
think
guys,
it
y'all are knocking down, like, when you've got the experience and you're listing and selling houses, because I follow the Facebook page, as fast as you guys are. There's nothing you haven't dealt with, can't deal with, and don't know about that industry. And you've got a team to help do it. Other people, there's a lot of people that might be a single person. There's no way they could handle what you guys handle seamlessly. And what that gives you is a accumulated experience. I've sold every kind of
right.
house. I've been in every price range. I've been in every market. I've dealt with there. And, the years of time of doing it, just, to me, it puts you in a different league of expertise. So, it's cool that people can go get a real estate license, but
Right, which is happening a lot.
like with my industry, for health and fitness, somebody can get certified in a weekend.
Right.
Okay. So
But
that's
are they
trust.
g
But there's a difference in being a seasoned agent and having your license.
Yes,
I can say they're
absolutely.
certified in doing something, but do they have any real world experience to kind of back that up? And I'm not willing to be the guinea pig. I want to go to the one that's already experienced.
Absolutely. Well, and I think a lot of it has to do with that experience, right? If you have one really terrible experience and it's with selling one of the biggest things you're going to sell in your entire life, how is that going to stick with you? That's not good, right? So you want to make all of those experiences great so that they feel good, and that it doesn't seem like it's this awful chore. It's a great thing to be able to do what you need to do.
Well, even worse, it might be a very costly financial error.
Sure. It can end in lawsuits.
Yeah,
It can, I mean, there's
right. It could
so
be
many things that could
worse.
happen that are very bad that we alleviate, and we know how to, that we can navigate completely to make sure that those things don't happen.
And I can't remember what it was, but something happened during the closing that had to be addressed. I can't remember what that was now, but there was something that went on, and you called and said, okay, so there's this and this and this, and we got to deal with this and this and that. And it was just kind of seamless. It's like, okay, here's what's come up. It's no big deal. Set up this. And I can't remember what that was. Maybe it's
Do
like
you
a
remember
window
which transaction it was, or
on the house that I sold on mine. I think it was was it a window or something that needed, so there was something that went on, but what I liked was I got alerted of it. It was way in advance. It didn't interfere with the closing. If something like that would have been left alone, and then closing comes up, and then closing gets delayed, and then tensions go high. And
right?
I wasn't like in a hurry, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to drag this out. I'm paying for this house. I would rather go ahead and get it done. I don't want to delay anything. So when something came up, and I can't remember, must not have been too big a deal because you handled it, but I can remember something happening and just getting that call going, here's what's going on. Here's what you need to do to fix it. We're going to handle it, da, da, da. And it was done.
And that's
Well,
what we like to do, come to you with a solution too, right? Like, hey, we know this is happening, but here's how we're going to fix it.
can't beat
We
that.
gotcha. That right there is all my engineering background. It's like, here's the problem, we got a solution.
Well, that pays off. Who wants,
Mhm.
like, you hire a real estate agent to handle an issue. That's their expertise. That's what
Mhm.
they should be able to do. But my issue comes if somebody doesn't. The reason we go with you is just the experience.
Mhm.
Experience that you have dealing with every possible known scenario. I got to
Mhm.
have that because I don't want to deal with that.
Right. And most people don't. I mean, that's why you hire professionals, right? You don't want to do those things yourself because you want the professional that's running to everything to handle it for you and get it done. So that's what we want to be.
Well, on the flip side of that, I also told you exactly what we wanted when we were looking for a house. And
Mm-hmm.
we literally got exactly what we were wanting. So we said, we want
Mm-hmm.
this and this and this with this and this and this, and this is how big we want it, and this is the location we want. And then we found it, and boom. And that was very quick.
Very quick. And we had, and in that case, we also had to push it because there was other offers coming in too. So we made sure that we were doing the right things and putting deadlines and doing those things to make sure that they said yes to you guys
Yep. And
and
I
made
remember
it the right thing.
that. And now with the way things move, if there's something you want, you got to have somebody that can jump. Like you got to jump
Right.
through the right hoops like right now, because somebody else might do it tomorrow and you're out of luck.
Right. And and that's what we're seeing in a lot of the sales is just multiple offers, and you have to have that person that goes, "Hey, I know how to navigate this. We need to do this, 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 and this for you to win the bid. Do you love the house? Okay, this is how we're going to get it for you, and this is how much we're willing to spend for it." And
Yep.
that's what we're seeing in it. And it's working really well for us.
Well, it was big for us because we sold what we wanted, got what we wanted. We sold what we wanted to sell for what we wanted to sell it for, and got what we wanted for less than we wanted to pay.
Yep. Which is,
How's
yeah,
that?
perfect.
How's that not a win-win?
And then
Yeah.
you get to do what you want to do, which is go see that grandbaby when you want to, right? So especially Olinda, get her down there to see that grandbaby.
Yeah, she could live down there. I can't live down there yet, but she could live. But now, we got what we wanted, and it's good to be able to float back and forth.
Yeah, much easier. Got rid of the yard work and everything. So, well, if there was one thing you wanted to make sure people heard out of this, what do you think it would be?
Go with experience.
I like it.
That's it. I mean, well, there's every, I know tons of realtors, and some
Oh
of
my
them,
gosh, you probably know hundreds.
yeah, and some of them I'm sure are very good. But the way the first transaction went with my mother-in-law's house, it was that smooth. I'm like, okay, if it's that smooth, then let's do it again. And we did, and let's buy, and we did it again, and ended up with 3. So I'll take it. You get a smooth professional experience and somebody that can handle the obstacles that pop up and quick. And I do like that.
And quick responses and
Yeah,
someone that you can always talk to.
I'd hate to see you have to handle what you handle without the team. So I don't know how people handle things without a team.
That's the thing. That's the difference. And that I think it's experience, and it's experience of your team. That a team that works really well together.
Well, one thing would be just this example. So let's say that I call you, and when I call you, I expect I want to be treated like I'm the only client.
Right. You want to feel like you're the only one.
So does the other guy that calls tomorrow.
But
if it's just you, that gets difficult. But instead of like, hey, great, you're ready. I'll take care of this. So-and-so is going to call you and handle this part of the transaction. And so-and-so is going to reach out to you by email, and you're all in. Well, you can divvy off. What do people do that are by themselves? They're swamped. You just can't.
They're swamped, and
you can't get the same kind of service. You just can't.
Oh no, it's impossible. And they can only do a few transactions, so they can only, service so many people, and then they're done. They can't love on as many people as we can, like to give them what they need when they need it, which is really important. So yeah, I like it. I think we should call it experience. That's what Testimonial Tuesday was about, experience.
The Bruins experience.
The Bruins experience. Okay. I like it. I like it.
Maybe a cool t-shirt for customers like me, because I'm all about free t-shirts.
Oh, okay.
I had the Bruins experience. There you go. It could be a little sign that says sold or smiling or contract or just a little smile. That's good.
That's cute. Well, thank you, Alan, for being here on Tuesday. We appreciate it so much.
So any advice for somebody out there, guys, if you're going to sell it or buy it, you want to go, if it's me, I want to go with experience. And that's what I did. And it paid off big time.
And we're so glad you did.
Yep. And I would do it again.
Thanks, Alan.
You got it.
Bye.